Hi all, welcome to our point form guide for hosting games again at Western Park as our under 16s and 18s footballers and 13s, 15s and 17s netballs all return to the fields and the courts next week as we host Sale and other clubs in the coming weeks on our abbreviated 2020 season. This video is just a quick advisory video in order to make clear what our responsibilities are as club members, spectators, players, officials, coaches and all that sort of stuff. So without much further ado, we'll get into it. Obviously, returning to play from a football point of view means that the change rooms and playing venue, and that includes coaches' boxes, are for players, coaches and medical staff and officials only. There'll be cleaning, disinfectant, spray and wipe of doorways, gateways, taps, toilet buttons and seats, and the coaches' box bench seats done pre and post games. Pre-games, after players and officials enter the arena, half-time in games after players and officials enter the arena, and at the end of the day, the 18's football finishes. Obviously all surfaces will be given disinfectant spray and wipe as well. For our first aid personnel and our trainers, we need each trainer to complete the Australian Government COVID-19 infection control training available online, and if I haven't already, I will be sending that out in the next 24 hours to our staff and giving you a phone call as well. Medical officials, obviously we need to outline all the protocols that are outlined in that infection control training, and that includes things like the disposal of gloves in between treatments, if necessary but not compulsory, wearing of face masks, and if we're using shared equipment it should be cleaned and sterilised after we use it. So for example, scissors need to be given a wipe, and generally disinfecting our hands in between treatment of each player. We've also got to cover the tables in disposable coverings, and they need to be removed after each player. So the club will be looking at in the coming week getting some of the disposal paper covering for our massage and strapping tables. Players, where possible, if living locally, arrive in your playing uniform, warm up with your warm and warm-up clothing over the top, and shower at home. It's unhealthy and unhygienic not to shower after travelling away games, so we'd expect you to use shower facilities at away games and of course have those available for our away opponents. Disinfecting our hands pre and post game after using toilets and wiping our noses, using disposable cloth tissues that are thrown in a secure bin. All players that have their own personal towel and drink bottle labelled. Your drink bottle needs to be labelled, guys, purely and simply because when people bring drinks out to you, they need to be bringing you your drink bottle and not someone else's. Okay, they're not to be shared, those drink bottles and towels, under any circumstances. We're not to spit or clear our nose in the playing surface, and use disposable cloth tissues, as already said, and thrown in a secure bin. Okay, so we need to keep our fluids on our personage as much as possible. Umpires will be provided with antibacterial gel to be used pre and post game and at every quarter break. Goal umpires, pre and post game, the flags will be disinfected with spray and wipe also. Playing equipment, warm up balls and bump bags for the footballers will be wiped and disinfected pre and post game. Match balls will be wiped and disinfected pre-game and after each quarter and post game. Players, runners and coaches are the only ones to handle any playing equipment. Spectators, and this is a really important one for our parents out there, only those essential to the players' participation, i.e. parents and guardians, should be in attendance and in groups of no more than 10, and making sure we are keeping ourselves socially distanced 1.5 metres apart. Now, for the netball side of things, a lot of things are very similar with some few differences, okay? The netball club rooms, change rooms and playing venue that is inside the fence, including the coaches' boxes and including the seated area, for players, coaches, medical staff and officials only. The entry and exit gates for at the netball venue will be different to what they normally are at training. They'll be opposite, in fact. So entry will be at the northern gate adjacent to the playground, and exit will be via the gate adjacent to the Warragul Football Netball Club netball rooms. Officials will be on duty directing traffic there. So unlike, unfortunately, some have a training and completely ignored our protocols, it's really important that the right entry and exit gates are used. Okay. Cleaning. Disinfectant spray and wipe of all doorways, gateways, taps, toilet buttons and bench seats. Coaches box bench seats also will be done pre and post game. And at these times, pre-games after player and officials enter the arena, and post-game after players and officials leave the arena, and at the end of the day, at the end of the under-17s in netball. Scorers and timekeepers, seats and tables, they will be given a disinfectant spray and wipe pre and post games. The same as the footballers, we want our first aid personnel trainers to, they're required actually. We don't just want them to complete the Australian Government COVID-19 online training and follow the same protocols as already mentioned in the football part of this video. Disposing gloves in between treatments, disinfecting hands with gel in between treatment of each player, whether it be strapping, massage or whatever. Okay, and of course massage and strapping tables covered in disposable paper coverings. Once again, we want the girls arriving in playing uniform with their warm-up clothing over the top, and shower at home. Obviously same protocols. If they can shower at away games, if those facilities are provided, that'd be good, because it is unhygienic to not shower if you're wet and sweaty or wet and cold. We're going to disinfect our hands pre and post game, after using the toilets of course, and blowing or wiping our noses, and obviously using disposable cloth tissues and throwing in a secure bin after we do so. All players are required, once again, to have their own personal towel and drink bottle labelled. Okay, they're obviously not to be shared under any circumstances, and of course no spitting or clearing of the nose and the playing surface, and using disposable cloth tissues that are thrown in a secure bin. Umpires obviously will be provided with antibacterial gel to be used pre and post game at every quarter break. Same as the footballers, warm-up balls will be wiped and disinfected pre and post game. The match ball will be wiped and disinfected pre-game and after each quarter and post game, and players and coaches are once again the only ones that are supposed to handle the playing and warm-up equipment. Okay, phone falling over here. Alright, so spectators at the netball, it is really important. There is a fence around the court, so it's a very clear demarcation line that only players and officials and coaches are allowed inside the fence on our courts at our games, and that includes our seated area also. Okay, now one parent or guardian per player as a spectator, so obviously people are in official roles and coaching, so other than them are one parent or guardian, and in groups of no more than 10, socially distancing 1.5 metres apart. And at the netball courts we will have witches' hats cordoning off so that people cannot park their cars in our stand around spectators area, so that people have got full access to watch their daughters play. Now, for general venue management from a club responsibility point of view, antibacterial spray and wipes will be placed in all change rooms, club officials' rooms, trainers' rooms, umpires' rooms, bathrooms, the canteen and club rooms. Now, with bathrooms and walkways and outside bathroom toilets, we'll have spots or crosses placed on the floor at bathrooms, internal and external, the public ones, as well as the walkways outside them for when people are waiting. We'll have those spots and crosses 1.5 metres apart, and obviously have antibacterial gel in our bathrooms. Obviously we would expect people to wash their hands and use the antibacterial gel. The canteen is to be occupied by working staff only, and applying all hygiene measures, gloves, antibacterial gels before putting gloves on, and of course outside the canteen as patrons we're to be using and paying heed to the 1.5 metre spots placed that will help us form our lines. The Warragul Football Netball Club rooms unfortunately won't be open to the normal selling of drinks. They're to be occupied by game day officials, Warragul Football Netball Club Committee, canteen staff and football and netball game day operation managers, as we can't have any more than 20 per the main room and no more than 4 people in our Warragul Football Netball Club office. Cleaning, obviously, disinfectant spray and wipe and wipeable doorways, door handles, taps, toilet buttons, tables and chairs that are used will all need to be disinfectant spray and wiped. Spectators, obviously, just to reinforce our adhere to spacing and social distancing, 10 per group, 1.5 metres apart, whether we're spectating for football or netball, and of course not to enter the change rooms or playing venue unless of course it's a family related medical emergency where you might be allowed to enter the club rooms. Okay, so at the very minimum, we expect these procedures to be not only followed at our club venue, but also other club venues, and respect the fact that other clubs' rules might be slightly different from venue to venue, even though we expect them to be very similar. It's also worth noting that the Gippsland League has put a price on entry at the gate for adults. It'll be $5 an adult. Okay, all player or person over 16, but obviously all our under 17 and under 18 netball players will get pass cards. So hopefully that's nice and clear for everyone. I look forward to seeing everyone at the footy and netball next week. Go the Gulls.